Hello, welcome back. It has been a while, so a quick update on the Arctic house build. In the last episode we closed off that we had gotten a building permit, so that was great. And we also mentioned that the next, let's say, critical path in the whole process is to find someone to do the groundwork, and that's been organized. So that's a major step, because we found someone that can do in June, do the digging in the ground and preparing everything from foundation, so that in July the logs from the factory can come and they can start building the house. So that's a major step in getting the house done this summer. Now, in the meantime, we have been doing other things, because the building permit was not yet the phase that everything of the house design was done. For the building permit, they need to know where the house is placed on the plot, how it's going to look from the outside, and where major draining points, water connections, etc. are of the house. So they can draw up everything, where to place the house, where to make sure that from electricity point goes to the house, where is the house electrical station, and also the same for sewerage and where our geothermal well is, anything that has to do with the plot, the positioning, cabling, etc., and the outside of the house. But before we got to that point, we also needed to know, of course, how the house is going to be, let's say, what's the floor plan of the house, where's the kitchen, where's the bathroom, where do you get water drainage, electricity points, etc. So in the meantime, when actually quite early already in the process, even before the building permit, we had conversations with someone doing furniture and the kitchen. And I'll show you some of the progress we made there, so you get a little bit of an idea. Here we have an initial design of the kitchen. And you see this is the window, and we like that you know, you're working in the kitchen and you look outside. And a little bit more, this is how it is without the cupboards, and here it's going to look like. Now, this is of course not yet the final design. It is a rough design in terms of positioning and stuff, but we haven't chosen all the materials yet. So the colors you see might change, the texture of the material might change, because this we have been able to do online, but all the other things like choosing the materials, we have to do that on premise, and we will do during the summer in the next couple of months when we go up there, but more about that later. Now also there's been some design for cupboards in the bedroom, more like this. So you need to store your clothes somewhere, and that probably is all going to be done in one time. And of course, something very typical in a Finnish home is your housekeeping room with your washing machine, dryer, and stuff like that, to get that organized as well. Now, none of this is being finalized, but the thing is that we had to make that because we needed to know where sewerage is going to be, where are water connections, where need to be electricity connections, etc. And the whole electricity plan also has been quite a bit of a job. Now, just to give you an idea, the first electrical plan was like this. And yes, there was a guidance of what all the symbols mean, and you need to be able to do a little bit of reading of the drawing. But from this drawing, we went in to make a revision. And as you can see, it's quite interesting. We made a revision. You can see in red, and if I put some stuff next to each other, like extra connection point, we removed some TV and internet cables, and we placed things in a little bit different place. Here we want an outside light extra. Now, this was only the first draft, because after this we got another iteration and another iteration, and now that has been finalized, because it needs to be finalized before they're actually making the logs for the house. Because you can imagine that all these places in the outside wall here, where connection points are going to be, they need to route the cables through the logs. So already in the factory, they will drill all the holes, everything for those connection points. And that's why it's important to do that before they start actually milling the whole house. I suspect, because I think they said 10 to 10 to 8 weeks before they deliver the house that needs to be ready, and then they can go install the house. But that's also all been done, so that was another big step. So everything is now on a green light, except for one thing that I'll get to. So in the last episode, building permit checked off the list. Critical path, someone to do the groundwork, to do all the digging in the ground and prepare everything for foundation. Checked off. The electrical plan and also the HVAC and where all the water connections are checked off the list. So the house is being built, or being not built but sawn in the mill, and everything is going to be done, and there's been a delivery date and a plan for everything to do. So that's settled, organized, done. But there was one thing. Of course, we want to be there when they build the house. We want to monitor the progress. We want to be there for questions, etc. So we also had to find temporary housing, because the house is not yet done, so we cannot live there yet. But we needed temporary housing. Now, our first, we thought it was going to be easy. It was a little bit harder than it looked like, but in the end, through some of let's say previous apartments that we rented, we found a place to live. So by the end of this month, we probably arrive at the location, so that in June we can monitor the work in the groundwork. We can check that, we can see if that is going the way we want. Then in July, when they deliver the house and when they build that, I think that's quite exciting, because in a very short time the house will be there and look like a house. And of course then all the inside work, all the cabling of all the electricity plans, etc. has to be done, and things like kitchen and other furniture it needs even to get measured, and before it can be measured on the exact dimensions, of course all the inside walls must be there. So by that time it will be later in the summer, and to do that. And well, for now probably we'll stay there somewhere September, but we don't know that yet. Might come back at home for a few days or so in between, but that's it. So quick update. Yes, everything is ready, set, go for building. We are going there to spend the whole summer at the building site and monitor progress, and of course report back to you guys as well, so that you can follow along what has been happening. Now, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I might be able to address them in another video, and you have something to look forward, answers to your questions. If you like it, please like and subscribe so you get notified for our next episode, and we'll see you from the building site in the next video. Thank you for watching.